My dad and aunt had a really weird experience as kids, and no one can explain it. Strange. First of all, sorry for my English. It's not my first language. I grew up in a very religious family. My grandfather on my dad's side was a pastor, so nobody in my family believes in aliens, ghosts, or anything paranormal. That said, my dad and my aunt have a story that no one has ever been able to explain. According to my dad, in 1978, when he was about 6 years old and my aunt was 3, they were alone in the living room one afternoon while my grandmother was on the backyard washing clothes. Suddenly, my aunt saw something through the window and screamed. My dad looked and saw something that looked like a man in the garden. My dad was lying on the couch and realized he couldn't move. My aunt was also terrified and unable to move. My dad describes the feeling as if he was floating. The thing started getting closer by jumping. It jumped over the wall, then over the gate, and then over the low wall of the porch, ending up right in front of the house. Both of them felt like the man was speaking directly inside their heads, but neither of them remembers what was said. When it reached the window, it jumped high onto the roof. Only then were they able to move again. They ran outside and saw the man standing on the roof, looking at them, still speaking something they don't remember. Then it seemed to slide backward and suddenly disappeared. The whole thing lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes. After it vanished, my aunt started crying and had even wet herself from fear. My dad ran to get my grandmother, but she said she hadn't seen anything. When my grandmother asked my aunt what had happened, my aunt said she had seen God. According to my dad, it was a humanoid being short and thin, with a head that was too big for its body. It had very large eyes about the size of saucers, with pupils and no eyelids. It had holes where the nose should be and a mouth with no lips. It was wearing a tight suit that went all the way up to its neck, kind of like a diving suit, metallic and purple, and skin tone was almost the same as the suit. My dad is colorblind, so he isn't sure about the color, but he is 100% certain it was not green or gray. During the entire experience, there was a constant sound that both my dad and my aunt describe as a deep buzzing, like cicadas. When the being spoke, they felt a copper taste in their mouths. After that day, my dad says there were other moments in his life when he felt like he was floating again, but without seeing the being. Of course, my grandfather said they were just imagining things, and the family brushed it off. But something clearly happened that day, and it has never been explained. Interestingly, around that same time, there was an official investigation happening here in Brazil into UFO sightings, known as Operação Prato. Does anyone have any idea what this could have been?